You probably have looked at waterfront properties in St. Mary's County and wondered why some properties are worth so much more than other properties. This video is going to answer that question for you. Hey, my name is Rob Schou. I'm a real estate agent down here in Southern Maryland with EXP Realty, and the whole goal of this channel is to help make your move to Southern Maryland so much easier. If that's something you'll be doing, use the contact information below. Call me, text me, and I'd be happy to help any way that I possibly can. Let's jump right into this and talk about why some waterfront properties are going to be worth more than other ones. Number one is obviously going to be the home. I've seen a lot of people have homes that are 900 square feet, and there's one on the market right now in St. Mary's County that is 13,000 square feet. So the size of the home is going to really dictate the price, as well as the finishes inside the home. If it's completely outdated, maybe from like the 70s, it's going to be worth less than one that has been updated and has finishes from the 2020s. That's just what it is. But that's really with any other house. So that's going to be any other situation that you have. If the home is bigger and more updated, it's probably going to be worth more. Number two is going to be the size of the lot. Again, this is the same thing as with other homes, but I think it's even more important with waterfront homes. Most people that want waterfront are looking for that like waterfront oasis. So if it has a half acre or an acre or 3 acres, it's going to be worth a lot more. And with that too, you're probably getting bigger water frontage, which means it's easier to put in a pier. It's easier to do all types of stuff, and you probably won't need to get your neighbor's permission to do it as well. So when you see those bigger properties, they're going to be worth more than those ones that are like a 1/4 acre or an 1/8 of an acre, because it's just not as desirable. Number three is the location of the land. Now, St. Mary's County is a peninsula, and on one side, on the northern side, is the Patuxent River, on the southern side is the Potomac River, and on the eastern side is the Chesapeake Bay. Now, as a whole, I would rank the Patuxent River waterfront to be the most prized waterfront. And I think that's because it's closest to the population centers, and there's a bunch of stuff to do in that area of the Patuxent River. So more people want to be there, and the prices show that. Second, I think it probably would be Potomac River, especially like the Brenton Bay area and places like that. You see bigger houses on bigger lots, and it commands a higher price tag. And the third area is the Chesapeake Bay area of St. Mary's County, and that can be either way. It can have some of the higher priced homes if they're, on a beautiful beach, have a lot of land and a big house. Or I've seen some of the smaller or the lower price homes be in that area too, especially if they're like smaller cottages that are right there on the water and maybe have a bunch of flood insurance you got to deal with and stuff like that. The fourth thing you're going to look out for is water depth. Now, water depth is a big deal, and the Patuxent River has some of the best water depth in all of St. Mary's County. So Cuckold Creek and areas like that are going to see a lot more water depth than areas like St. George Creek or even into Ridge, Smith Creek and stuff, and areas like those. And the reason why you want more water depth at your waterfront is so you can fit bigger boats when you are using the waterfront. If you're putting out a pier and all you have to do is go 100 feet out and you can fit a sailboat on the end of it, it's going to be more desirable to more people, hence the price tag going up. And on the inverse, the shallower the water is, you might just be stuck having a john boat or a kayak, which some people want more than that at their waterfront property. Number five is going to be access to open water. If you're someone that wants to fish the Chesapeake Bay, or you're someone that wants to be by Solomon's and boat in that area, you probably don't want to be all the way up some creek that you have to go 6 miles per hour down to get to it. So those areas that are more, back off the beaten path, maybe all the way up a creek with shallow water, and you can't get to the open water quickly where you can go a little bit faster, are going to be less desirable. Number six is going to be all about the pier, whether the condition of the pier or the size of the pier, if it has electric and water, all these things factor into it. And I know that when your pier has a boat lift or multiple boat lifts, it's definitely going to increase the value of the house because it's one less thing the person buying it has to worry about when they're moving in there. And to piggyback on that one, shoreline condition as well. So it's not just your pier people are looking at, it's also the condition of the shoreline, especially in the more high velocity areas like Chesapeake Bay or the open Potomac or even the open Patuxent too. You want to make sure that the property has a bunch of riprap. If it's riprapped and there's rock all along the side and it looks good and it's not eroding anymore, that's going to be a more valuable property as well, because that buyer is not going to have to put in as much money to get it right and to preserve their property. And the last one, and one that a lot of people don't think about, is flood risk. And it's not just because the risk of actually having a flood, it's the cost of having to carry flood insurance. Areas like the Patuxent, Brenton Bay, and places like that normally are in areas that are higher off the water, and you don't have to carry flood insurance. That's an extra expense each month, and it's a headache to have to worry about when water comes up if it's going to get in your house or not. That's why you see areas like St. George Island, which flood regularly, see lower prices because you have to pay for that flood insurance, and you just don't know if your property is getting ruined by the next hurricane or even tropical storm. Look, hopefully this information was helpful. If you have any questions about waterfront properties, use the contact information below. Call me, text me, and I'd be happy to help any way that I possibly can. I really appreciate you watching this video, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one.